Pretty big update, though, to share with everybody today. This was predicted. Okay, so Zelensky, of course, now is coming back to the White House and saying, look, we'll take the mineral deal. He didn't have, as President Trump accurately pointed out yesterday, he was not in a position to negotiate. He was in a position to do what he was told. And he decided, he decided that he wanted to grandstand and he wanted to, say, hey, I don't care about peace. I care about, grandstanding and machismo, and talk about how Ukraine was all alone and was standing alone in this war. But not only were they not alone in this war, but in my opinion, they were fighting it on the United States' behalf, which is something that, Zelensky will never say because, he got all that money cashed away from it. But it's something I truly believe. I believe that the Ukrainian people were used as pawns in this proxy war by the United States, and I don't like it. I like Ukrainians. I have no problem at all with them, but I feel like they were taken advantage of in this, talked into fighting a war that they were never going to win, and they were talked into putting their lives on the line, just much in the way Americans were after 9/11. Did we ever find those WMDs, by the way? Curious. I'm just curious if we ever did find those WMDs. That tens of thousands of Americans had to lose their lives and hundreds of thousands of Iraqis died. I'm just wondering if we ever did find those WMDs that George W. Bush told me 100% existed. But we are now getting new reports after yesterday, exactly what led to the walkout and what led now to them coming back.
It's an honor to have President Zelensky.
These are the 9 words that triggered historic blockbuster clash between Zelensky and Trump as the world holds its breath to see Donald's next move. It's not Donald Trump's next move. It's not Donald Trump's next move. It's Zelensky. Zelensky can take the offer the United States is offering, or he can decide if everyone offering thoughts and prayers on Twitter equates to ammunition. Because all of Europe came out to say, and Canada came out to say, we stand with Ukraine. I'm not sure what tweeting we stand with Ukraine equates to. I'm not sure what the going conversion rate is for T's and P's on Twitter and ammunition and drones and long-range missiles. I'm not exactly sure what that is. But as far as I know, that exchange rate is 0.
Zelensky of Ukraine, and we've been working very hard, very close. So we've actually known each other for a long time.
Sorry.
Yes, go ahead, please.
They really gave a lot, Mr. President. They did.
They gave a lot, but they gave much less.
No. What is?
Yes, they did. Europe gave much less. Let's see. Let's just look this up. And by the way, I'm sure Europeans feel duped too. Support to Ukraine by country. Let's take a look. From the Kiel Institute, Ukraine support tracker. Well, let's take a look. Let's see who has given the most. Now, of course, it's probably how people define support. Let's see. Because the United States is not the only country who has put a lot of money. The United States has committed $119 billion, more than twice the entire European Union, almost 3 times. But it's not like, hey, Germany's given $18 billion, UK's given $15 billion, Canada $8.7 billion. So when Canada goes on Twitter and talks about thoughts and prayers, maybe sit down, maybe push yourself up this list a little bit. As the United States has given $120 billion out of a total of, let's just say ballpark, $200 billion. Okay. And this is just from January 24th, 2022 to December 31st, 2024. Okay. So the United States has given more than every other country combined. Just saying 50 plus 20 is 70, 85, call this 100. Call us another 120. So the U.S. has given 120 billion. Everyone else combined has given 120 billion. All right. So, again, if you're in one of these countries, I don't expect you feel much better. I don't suspect you feel much better about it. But to act like, the United States isn't primarily bankrolling this. And by the way, they're doing that so they fight their proxy war with Russia. That's my opinion. A lot of people, these are my more like divisive videos. When I have this take, people unsubscribe to my YouTube channel, stuff like that. But like, I firmly believe that this was a proxy war aimed at weakening Russia, perpetrated by and funded by the Biden administration. That you cannot ignore, 2014, 2015, what Russia did with Crimea and all this kind of stuff. But I don't think that, and I think Zelensky was in on it. This is just my opinion. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong. I think Zelensky's in on it. I think he's a CIA asset. I think he's doing what the United States told him to do, and he's enriching himself and his nation at the expense of his countrymen.
He wants to know, do you think that, sort of a stupid question. I think we're going to end up with an agreement. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably be here today. And I do like your clothing, by the way.
Yeah, really?
Even though I think he's a great guy, by the way. But I don't know if you two like each other. But you know what?
25 times he broken ceasefire.
But he never broke to me. He never broke to me.
No, you were the president.
He
You were the president
He never broke to me.
In 2016, you been the president, Mr. President. What kind of...
I don't know if he did break the ceasefire during early in Trump's first presidency, but if he did, it didn't last, And so we all saw how this meeting ended. Well, of course, today we all knew how this predictable turnaround. So Zelensky gets kicked out of the White House. Trump is obviously pissed off because, he felt disrespected. Shout out to even Lindsey Graham, who was basically like, yo, what's up with the disrespect? So now Zelensky has now agreed to sign this mineral deal after getting kicked out of White House meeting. We are ready to sign the minerals agreement. Now, I would personally, call me crazy, I would personally like to see the minerals. I would like to see evidence of the minerals. I want to see where they're going. I want to see what's happening with them. I want some oversight on said minerals. Even Trump, he doesn't have total control of his intelligence community right now. So I want to make sure that this is a real deal, that the mineral deal is real. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky took about 12 hours and said now Ukraine is ready to sign the minerals agreement that has been negotiated by Trump administration. This comes just one day after President Trump and Vice President Vance met with him in the Oval Office, where the meeting quickly turned contentious, leading to Zelensky leaving the White House. Zelensky posted on X, "We are ready to sign the minerals agreement, and it will be the first step towards security guarantees, but it is not enough. And we need more than just that. A ceasefire without security guarantees is dangerous for Ukraine. We have been fighting for 3 years, and Ukrainian people need to know that America's on our side." So he's still asking for more, bros. I don't necessarily view this as a total victory. And by the way, what a total victory is peace. I don't want any more Russian soldiers to lose their lives. I don't want any more Ukrainian soldiers to lose their lives. I don't want any more, these mercenaries to lose their lives. But let's not forget that there's a reason that there were United States biolabs in Ukraine, right? I want the rare earth flight logs. That's correct. I do. Zelensky keeps throwing his own countrymen into the meat grinder. And, I just don't know. How can Volodymyr Zelensky have any question about whether or not America is on his side? Now, I do believe that America, in fact, it probably just used him. But, he then added that Ukraine wants peace in the war with Russia and that the deal on minerals is just a first step toward guaranteeing securities. And the reason that guarantees securities is that Trump is basically saying like, yo, we have no financial interest in Ukraine. So give us one. And then we can tell Russia, hey, don't attack here. You know? So we can make chips. We need to make chips for AI. We need all this stuff. We don't have these rare earth minerals really in the United States in big deposits. I've read that we have them in some places like Arizona and stuff like that. But we need a lot of this stuff. And by the way, the value for these rare earth minerals are going to only go up. Our situation is tough, but we can't just stop fighting and not have guarantees that Putin will not return tomorrow. That I think he's come far enough. What I think he's desperately trying to maintain some semblance of, autonomy here. But I think he's come far enough. He's given Trump enough to go to Putin and be like, all right, look, we got our deal. You're going to get this chunk of land. Zelensky's going to get our guarantee. And then for the next 4 years, while I'm still president, you don't mess with Ukraine. And then for the next 8 year, maybe while JD Vance is president, perhaps you don't mess with Ukraine. That's the guarantee he's going to get, And for him to come back now and put a lengthy tweet out, which he definitely did not write, at this point, I just want peace. That's what I want. And we can nitpick about Zelensky. I don't think he's going to stay in power one way or another. But, 6 hours ago, which was, 5, this was tweeted out on purpose at the time when America was getting up, he put out basically his version of a half-butted apology. But at the end of the day, I just want this war over, Zelensky did not write this post, so that's true. Sir, every time you've spoken about Americans, you've always said thank you. It's we that should be telling you thank you for your troops? What? No, I just want peace. I don't want to talk about anything more. Like, wait till Doge dies. Doge has said, Elon Musk has announced that he wants Doge to investigate, right? US Aid sponsored 90% of Ukrainian media. 90%. What do you think Doge is going to find? All this money was stolen. All of this money was stolen. Not just from US taxpayers, but from people in Europe. People in Europe were robbed too. All this money was money laundered to other places. That's the truth. So Elon said that Doge is going to look into Ukraine, and I know what we're going to find. Is anybody out there going to be surprised when they find out that 75% of this money never made it to the front lines? You're not going to be surprised because you watch my videos and you engage in the chat with people. We know. Elon suggests, Charlie Kirk says, now it's time for Elon and Doge to audit the money we sent to Ukraine. Elon says, okay. Our own government doesn't want that audit to happen, boys. Our own government does not want this audit to happen because a lot of the money that we said we were sending to Ukraine or the money that was spent to buy weapons to send to Ukraine never got there. It went over and over and over to lots of other places. That's the reality. But at the end of the day, end the stupid war. Stop spending them money. We can complain and we can talk about this till we're all blue in the face, but it's time to end the war. So get it done this weekend.